Our brains are wired for a little gamble every now and then, but have you ever wondered why that feeling of almost winning can be so addictive, even when you lose? In this video, we'll explore the interesting psychology behind gambling, disclosing why our brains crave that near-win feeling. So, stick around to separate the myths and realities of gambling, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel first. Gambling is a roller coaster ride of excitement, anticipation, and sometimes, let's face it, a bit of heartache. But why do we keep returning for more, even when the odds seem stacked against us? Let's understand this. You walk into a flashy casino. The lights are dazzling, the sounds of slot machines ringing in your ears, and the promise of winning big is in the air. It's like going into a whole new universe where anything is possible. And that's because gambling taps into something deep within our brains. The thrill of the unknown, adrenaline rush, and the sweet taste of victory. But while most of us can enjoy a little flutter here and there without any harm done, for some, gambling can become more than just a pastime. It can turn into a full-blown addiction, wreaking havoc on their lives and the lives of those around them. And that's where the science comes in. You see, researchers in Cambridge are using fancy brain imaging techniques to peek inside the minds of gamblers and unravel the mysteries of their behavior. They're discovering that when we gamble, our brains light up like a Christmas tree flooded with dopamine, the feel-good chemical that keeps us returning for more. But the house may always win in the end, but our brains are wired to focus on the potential rewards, not the inevitable losses. It's like we're hardwired to believe that the next spin of the wheel or the next hand of cards could be our lucky break, even when logic tells us otherwise. So, we can say that gambling isn't just about winning or losing money, it's about how our brains react to the anticipation of reward, even when the odds are stacked against us. This complex interplay between neurochemicals and behavioral patterns keeps us coming back for more, sometimes even when we know it's not a wise decision. One of the key players in this game is dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in reward processing and motivation. When we anticipate a reward, like a potential win at the casino, dopamine levels in our brains surge. It creates a feeling of pleasure and excitement, fueling our desire to chase that reward further. Studies by neuroscientists like Antoine Bacara of the University of Southern California have shown that our brains don't differentiate ideally between an actual win and a near miss. That close call on the roulette wheel or the slot machine flashing almost there can trigger a similar dopamine release, even though you haven't secured the prize. This near-win response keeps us engaged in the game, fueling the hope that the next spin might be the lucky one. Casinos and gambling apps are masters of manipulating this near-win system. They employ an intermittent reinforcement strategy where rewards are unpredictable and come at irregular intervals. It is a powerful tool because it keeps the brain guessing and craving the next dopamine hit. Think about it. The excitement would wear off quickly if you won every single time at the slots. But the uncertainty of when or if you'll win keeps you returning for more. Researchers like B.F. Skinner, a pioneer in behavioral psychology, demonstrated the power of intermittent reinforcement in his famous experiments with pigeons. By rewarding pigeons with food only sometimes when they pecked at a lever, he found they pecked even harder and more frequently than pigeons receiving a consistent reward. It shows the addictive nature of unpredictable rewards, a principle casinos exploit to their advantage. While dopamine is the star player in the reward system, other neurochemicals also play a role in gambling behavior. Norepinephrine, for example, increases alertness and focus, making us more attentive to the sights and sounds of the casino floor. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, can be released during gambling, creating a sense of euphoria and masking potential losses. Furthermore, the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, can become activated during gambling, leading to heightened feelings of excitement and anxiety. This emotional roller coaster can be intoxicating, fueling the desire to gamble even when logic dictates otherwise. One of the psychological mechanisms that fuel gambling behavior is the illusion of control. Many gamblers believe they possess a certain level of skill or expertise that can influence the outcome of games of chance, such as card games or slot machines. This belief in their ability to control the outcome leads individuals to overestimate their chances of winning and encourages continued participation in gambling activities, even in the face of repeated losses. Another cognitive bias that influences gambling behavior is the gambler's fallacy, which is the belief that past events can influence future outcomes in games of chance. For example, a gambler may believe that a series of losses increases the likelihood of a subsequent win, leading them to continue placing bets in the hopes of reversing their fortunes. In reality, each event in a game of chance is independent and unaffected by previous outcomes, but the gambler's fallacy can cloud judgment and lead to irrational decision-making. There is a close relationship between risk and reward in gambling psychology. Gambling provides the prospect of rapid pleasure and excitement, appealing to our innate drive for fulfillment. The excitement of betting and the hope of winning stimulate the brain's reward centers, making people want to experience these feelings repeatedly. But when people become more fixated on the possibility of profits rather than the probability of success, the hunt for rewards can also cause them to engage in risky activity and incur financial losses. Gambling isn't always a solitary activity. Many enjoy the social aspect of casinos, sporting events, or poker nights with friends. This social interaction can enhance the overall experience and contribute to the perceived value of gambling. However, it's essential to be mindful of social pressure. Don't feel obligated to keep gambling simply because your friends are. Remember, your financial well-being and mental health should always take priority. As access to gambling has grown, so has concern about the rise of gambling addiction. And let me tell you, it's not just your grandma playing bingo at the local hall anymore. We're talking about young people, especially guys, getting caught up in sports betting and video game gambling faster than you can say jackpot. Recent studies are showing that people in their early 20s are jumping into the gambling game faster than ever before. But kids as young as 12 are getting in on the action too. Yes, nearly 2/3 of adolescents aged 12 to 18 have tried their hand at gambling or gambling-like games. Let me tell you, starting young comes with its own set of risks, from psychological distress to a higher chance of developing severe gambling problems down the line. It's important to note that not everyone is susceptible to the psychological allure of gambling. Personality traits like impulsivity and risk-taking behavior can increase the likelihood of developing a gambling problem. Additionally, people experiencing stress or anxiety may turn to gambling as a coping mechanism, seeking that temporary rush of pleasure. By understanding what makes certain people more prone to developing gambling problems, we might just be able to develop better prevention and treatment strategies. And let's not forget about the big picture here. What are the long-term health impacts of gambling? How do we deal with the consequences of starting young? And what's the government's role in all of this? While we've got agencies dedicated to tackling alcohol and drug addiction, there's no official effort aimed at problem gambling. And to top it all off, there are 0 federal regulations against ads for sports betting. That means our kids are bombarded with ads featuring their favorite athletes promoting gambling 24/7. So what can you do if you find yourself caught in the cycle of chasing near wins? The first step is to become aware of your triggers. What situations or emotions lead you to gamble? Identifying these triggers is crucial to avoid them or develop healthy coping mechanisms. Setting clear financial limits before you gamble is essential. Decide on a specific amount you will lose and stick to it. To further limit your spending, consider leaving your credit cards at home and only taking cash with you. If you feel like you're losing control of your gambling behavior, seeking professional help is crucial. That's all for today's video. We hope you found something informative about this. Let's give it a wrap, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you!